Live.
Yeah, I think to like launch an enhanced when you're streaming from YouTube, or if you're using Zoom, then work on that and meeting, broadcast that, and then.
Well, if Zoom can take Zoom and broadcast it to YouTube, then we just got to put the embed code in here, and we're ready to go.
What would be easier would be to just broadcast the Zoom, which I'm not sure if it's possible.
Yeah, it is. Oh. We did it. We've done it.
Okay.
Well, all those live streams we did.
No, I know that. What I mean is, instead of passing through YouTube, if we can hook up Zoom directly to.
Oh, if there's like some kind of patch or something.
Because you know when you do the custom stream, Michael, there might be a way to custom stream into the Hangout. We're just not sure yet.
When I did it through Zoom, like Zoom had.
Or you can still put the URL.
So you have to check on it and see if they have something.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, basically, the way it works in a Hangout is you have an embed code that you put in. So I'm not sure if Zoom has an embed. You know, there's the encrypted link that you get for the Zoom meeting.
Okay. Yeah.
That doesn't seem to quite work. It says to us, Zoom doesn't want to connect. But
you need the embed code. Yeah, that's it.
But we don't have an embed.
In Zoom?
I don't think so.
Michael, can you generate an embed code in Zoom?
It was a proper stream key, which means it's encrypted, which means it's API.
Yeah. Yeah, so it might work.
Yeah, I mean, the other way to do it is stream for it, I guess.
No, it'd be easier to just stream to YouTube.
Yeah. Well, it's designed to work with YouTube embed. That's why I can live stream, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Like on Hangout is the output.
Yeah.
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 Hello.
I started my supper and I forgot to log on, so I'm not ready.
Are you cooking in a slow cooker, like in a crock pot?
Well, no, I just cut everything up.
Oh.
And I said, okay, I'm going to go down to work, and in an hour I'll put it all together. And I came down, and I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday. I'm not presentable yet, let's just say. I'm not going to do a picture of me, though. Everything. Oh, I think that's because you're not presentable.
That's it. Zoom decided for you.
Yeah. Zoom filters it.
Does my shirt give you guys a headache as much as me?
No.
It's so pixely, it's trippy.
Yeah, no, it's not doing that. It's small anyway.
Didn't block your image correct when you're flying.
I feel like the guy from Blue Squeeze with the stripes.
Okay, we decided to start here because the Unhangout thing has some particularities.
Oh yeah.
But it has some potential too. Okay, Caroline wants to do an icebreaker, so I think you've got all of us here. Go for it.
Okay, so I figured it's a rainy day, let's have fun. That we could start things off with a short icebreaker, just a few minutes. So it's not work related, it's more for fun. So most of you probably know this game called Two Truths, One Lie. So I'll start by example, then Liz will go on. I thought we could do 2 people per meeting, that way it won't be too long. There'll be a little icebreaker for every meeting. So you have to figure out which one is a lie among my 3 sentences about myself. So the first one, I worked on a military base for 7 years. The second one, I actually have a secret skill cake decorating. And the third one, I almost did my degree in music instead of teaching. So I'll write them in the chat. You should copy paste them, and you have to guess which one is a lie.
What's the second one?
So first one, worked on a military base for 7 years. I have a secret skill, cake decorating, and I almost did a degree in music instead of teaching.
The
Do
first one.
we have to say it in the order that you wrote it in the chat, or the order that
So
you
just
said it?
indicate in the chat which one do you think is a lie.
The first one.
Really true. Like you actually might be a cake maker. I don't know. It's up to you to decide.
Oh, what do we win? What's the prize? No prize.
No, there's no prize.
Which one is a lie? Is it
Sorry.
the military base,
I'd say the
music
first one.
skills, or the cake decorating skills?
Oh, Brad, you're memeing. That's
But
that's
most people
spicy.
think I can't make cakes.
Huh.
Military base. Okay, so there's shared reviews. So actually, the lie is that I almost did a degree in music instead of teaching. I cannot play a single instrument of music.
Oh.
So I can't play music. It's on my bucket list before I die. I'll learn to play an instrument. I worked on a military base for 7 years, and in Citadel of Quebec in Quebec City, I was a tour guide for 7 years. So I know my military history.
Oh.
And I actually do have a cake decorating math skill. I bake
Awesome.
cakes for weddings and for birthdays.
Wow.
Hmm.
Cool.
And
Never seen one of your sweet cakes.
well, but
So which group was that? Is it me and Paul?
who won? Well, Sylvia, I think you're the only one.
No, I got it.
No, Paul. Paul said
So
two.
Paul, yeah.
I got it right away. It's obvious.
Paul and Sylvia, you win for.
Yeah, I hang out with enough music degree people to know them. I know them intimately.
Because nobody would make up. I worked on a military base for 7 years.
No.
Yeah. So you, yes, you across the time you do win a cake next time.
Nice.
Amazing.
Awesome.
And we have Elizabeth.
I love it.
I'll put some pictures after. I'll show you.
In order to tell if this is lying, you can't see her face. So. Otherwise, like unfair advantage.
I think that this one
You could also, okay, so I'll put my three is, number one, I play the piano. So you have to see that if Sylvia's music detection skills are right or wrong.
Oh no, music degree. It was a music degree.
Okay,
Anyone can play the piano.
okay. My middle name is, I don't have a middle name, and my middle name is Edith. And number three, I have an aunt, and her name is
Right?
Zippy. Zippy.
Okay. I'm gonna write two every day, so I'll make my line two.
So the truth is, I do play the piano, not very well, but I do play the piano. And I do have an aunt named Zippy. So no, I don't have a middle name, and it's definitely not Edith. I just thought it would be cool to EDK. That's it. Haha, great.
So mine is got one.
No cupcakes, not a cake. For the winners.
It's a virtual cake.
You can play something on the piano.
I'm giving you two now. It's two.
Please.
Oh, it's upstairs. Okay.
What would you play if it was available?
Maybe swirlies, like the go-to quick.
Uh-huh.
All right, who's next? Who wants to go?
That's it.
People for next week.
Oh,
Next
really?
Oh, we should just hope for how many.
Oh, now you
Right.
have something good. I had to cut you off.
All right.
Can't tell a lie.
That's why I didn't put the video on.
I always tell lies.
So that's it for today.
Yes, I wish.
Thanks for doing that, Kevin.
It's very dark. Oh boy. Okay, so we started in Zoom just because we played around a little bit with that Hangout platform, and it has some advantages and disadvantages. And one of them is there's no, if you want to have sort of a broadcast in the main room, you have to do it with another platform. So if we wanted to, let's say, have a workshop, we'd have to, like where there's a few of us there doing something before we launch the breakout rooms, we'd have to live stream it either from YouTube or figure out a way to get the Zoom meeting in the main space. You'll see when we go in there what it's like. The big advantage is that the breakout rooms are easy to set up. You can either set them up ahead and have people join them, or people can suggest breakout rooms and you can upvote them. So everybody can decide, yes, I want to join this one. Then you see how many of the rooms have votes, and then you can open the rooms that have like people in them, and they have a max amount of 25 participants in each of them. And once you're in a breakout room, everybody can see each other. So we thought we'd do like the second half of the meeting. See what it's like. So, I mean, conceivably, if everybody went into one breakout room,
I made 2.
then we could all be together in the space, but it's a weird way to start because you go in and you've got basically this empty interface. Yeah, and it's got, you'll see that it's got, instead of using a Google Doc, they basically have an Etherpad in each breakout room. So it's a shared doc, and then you can save it, and there's a chat in each breakout room as well. So it has potential. I think we'd have to play with it before we did a workshop in it, but if we want to do like a EdCamp type thing, it might be a good way to do it. We have a couple things on the agenda. We've done now, Michael worked hard to get it up there, and it's there, the educators page that has all our things in it. So right now, it's basically just a bunch of links though, so we have to think about whether we want to put some text, a little bit of descriptive text for the different pieces. I threw up a text just to explain pedagogical services, but at least now we have the basic structure of where things have to lead to. If we're missing things, now's the time to look. Like now within the next couple days, because the next step will be to work with IT to create some of the sections that we've added. So right now, the RICI section and ICT is under professional learning. But the way we've reorganized it, it's its own category. So that page, that section has to be pulled out of there. So we don't have 7 links within the breadcrumb to get back to it, like so that the structure and the menu and the pages all align. Because right now that logical part's not there. So before we go any further, we have to get them to pull some sections and move them.
Now's the time to sort of put up any fixed links or what have you, because like we're in
That's it.
it, we're in the thick of it, and it's hard to get into.
Yeah. But at least now, if you go into the /educators page, just /educators. Someone wants to share their screen. If you open up, I mean, that text can be edited. It's just, I kind of pulled something together from what we already had.
It's good. I think it's fine. It's not too long.
Christine,
Yeah.
how do you get to it if you don't put editors?
Well, so right now, we're trying to get them to make that thing active, and it's not.
Educators on the top, that's
Well, they're gonna make a menu, but see, right now, that menu does not align with what we've got on educators. So what we've got on educators is what should be in the menus. Michael, can you go back to the homepage just so we can show how you get to educators? To get to educators right now, because that button's not active, you have to scroll down under that giant image and go to pedagogical services. When you click on more, that image is not active for some reason, but I think the link more is. That's where you get to the page. So that's what I'm saying about trying to align all the pieces so that that page brings you to educators. Eventually that button will bring us to educators, and then the menus should line up so that they're not in different places than the stuff that's in that page.
Sorry, just to clarify the point, the images do work.
Oh, they do now? Okay.
It's not just that.
For a while they didn't.
Oh, sorry, it's the text.
Yes, it's the more.
No.
Oh.
Pedagogical services, the words in the text.
Oh, lordy. Okay. So, yeah. Okay.
There's a layout thing that's wacky. It's the accordions are a little too narrow. I think that's because it didn't specify full or something. Anyway, that's not right.
So you can tell it full?
But I don't know what the problem. I've had that problem before. I can't remember what the problem is.
Okay.
But there's some reason why, like if you go to other pages, it's in line with the text, and that one's not. I can't remember what it is.
Like maybe it's an option to set where you can / put it instead of full.
Could be.
No, it should be full. It's not that. It's something else. I can't remember what it is. It's I've seen it before, but I don't know. Anyway, there we go. It might be the thing in front of it too, or I don't remember what it was.
It's set to full.
Yeah. No, it's not that. It's something else. I've seen it before. Okay.
All right, so we just need to check inside those different categories to make sure that everything that we need to get to is there. Just to show an example of what I mean by the breadcrumb aligning. Michael, can you go to the page that says Adult Ed? Okay, you're logged in now, so it's a little weird.
Because that one's pretty great, but yeah. This one, or 80.
Yeah, go to that page.
Okay.
I think I know why it is.
Now look at the breadcrumb. So it's like 3 times the same thing. It's Adult Ed, and then Adult Ed, and then Adult Ed.
Literally the exact same.
So it's really recursive, and we're going to try to get rid of that, because if you click on that breadcrumb, you just end up with the same thing or some kind of empty page.
Just learned until 3 of the duplicates.
Yeah, that's.
I'm fixing alignment.
Can you explain?
It's just the one before it was not full.
Okay, so they all need to be full.
Like the pedagogical services, if you refresh right now, it's okay.
Oh, so for the pedagogical services, the top one.
Yeah, that one wasn't full. I set it to full. So it's,
Okay, I'll look out for that.
All right.
they all have to be set. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And quick question,
Mhm.
I noticed your focus tools are all in secondary. Are they all secondary?
No, we need to, we were supposed to put in a link. We talked about, Michael and I talked about it yesterday.
Okay, great.
The elementary ones are supposed to be there too.
They were originally made for secondary, right? But a lot of them are open-ended enough to be for whatever.
Yeah, but we have the ones for cycle 1, 2, and 3 are also done.
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
They're there, so.
Okay, elementary, mean.
Yeah.
Perfect, okay.
Although I feel that the secondary ones are better in general.
Yes, I agree. But they're not appropriate for like cycle 1 or 2.
But from what I understand, Christine, I need to change the focus and action to being focus tools.
Yeah.
Probably creating a separate page, focus in action, explicitly just for the video. Yeah.
It shouldn't be called Focus in Action because it wasn't Focus in Action. Focus in Action was the video.
Okay, so maybe, I guess my question is, where does the accordion containing the focus tools, does it just go in with the focus tools, secondary?
I think that it should go under cross-curricular or something.
That's where it is. It's just we need one more link that says Focus Tools for Elementary.
Right.
And it should point to this page.
So
Okay.
on the cross-curricular competency page, there should be focus tools, focus and action, elementary focus tools.
Yeah.
Like all those things are the same. The video and the tool and the other thing, they should be the same.
Currently, focus and action is in with the secondary tools. My question is whether I'm splitting it off or if I can just leave it here after the video.
I think it could be left there, but should be not the first thing.
Well, go to Focus Tools. Go to the second thing. Go to the second accordion. Just scroll down. Okay, those are the secondary ones. Where you were before was the elementary ones.
Yes.
Okay.
And the tools, the focus and action videos are only on the secondary.
Because they're only for the secondary.
They're only for secondary.
Yeah.
But my question is whether I just leave them there. You know, like I'm going to rename this the focus tool and then drop the
No.
focus and action.
Just do the elementary ones. Just call them Focus Tools and say elementary.
No, but he needs the top banner.
Oh yeah, it should just.
Right now it says focus and action.
No,
and
no.
it should just say
Focus.
competencies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can leave the focus and action videos where they are. Maybe at the bottom of the page.
I like the
Maybe you should just call them focus videos, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe like
Video.
clear. The focus and action was like a DVD. And so
Yeah.
they were clear because you're holding a DVD.
That's it.
Remove the or create a title.
Okay, so focus tools 1, 2, 3 is
Elementary.
Okay, and then cross-curricular competencies, focus, whatever you're gonna call it, is secondary. So that's not so clear though. If I'm gonna look across here, like when you put secondary cross-curricular competencies, focus tools secondary, focus tools elementary, just to make it clearer, more clear.
Yeah, we went to the hyperlinks will eventually.
Sorry, is that what you guys just said? I was focused on.
So in the chat, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, I was just.
Read up by the end of the day, and like, right, and then this is where they are.
Ben's here,
Excellent, thank you.
so Ben can see it.
I haven't seen his beard yet, so I don't know. Okay, cool.
Cool. So if there's anything else you notice, like now's the time before we reorganize all the other pieces. And then the next thing to think about is the landing pages. So it'd be good if when you get to something, it's got some explanation and it looks like a landing page. Because right now, like if we look at special needs, so I can pick on something, at least now we've improved where it goes, but it doesn't, I don't think special needs has a landing page. Does it?
It does.
Okay, so that maybe is the page that we should point to. I don't,
Yeah,
we can
because
decide.
then the inclusion, l'integration, those are two separate pages.
Yeah.
One's French, one's English. And
Yeah.
as special needs grows, you don't want to keep adding to this list.
No.
You just
Okay, so there was some confusion on my end because in the document we were working on, there was like the list of links that I put up that you can see right now, I believe.
Those were the tiles that used to be,
Yeah, I got rid of the tile.
Yeah.
The reference is now the special needs section itself, which is that first page.
right? Maybe as long as all the links are in that first special needs page,
Yep, they are.
then we don't need that middle page anymore. We can take that layer away. But now we're stuck in the meantime before they start moving things, right? Because special needs has to be in the proper place before we can take those middle pages that had all the tiles away. That's our issue.
Right way it was set up in the document where special needs was under across the
Yeah.
curriculum, and like the first link is that landing page.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Pretty much that's
the other three that are there, you can get rid of.
I can get rid of these and just make it a single link that's going to the landing page that's right here.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where it says welcome to special needs, maybe we can have a picture or we can have a something and a description.
It needs a bit of a text.
That's it.
And a picture can be put in there, but the first thing was just to get this menu working like this.
I agree. I agree. Okay, so I mean, slowly but surely we're getting somewhere. Like the breadcrumb business with the I want to teach is the part we have to work on with IT because we can't start meddling with that. We want to clean it up so you know that breadcrumb. In some places you click and then you end up with a nothing page that's got a weird menu at the bottom of it. So I mean, I'm hoping that doesn't take 4 months. But as long as we can get our pieces aligned, then I can tell them like this is where it needs to be. Because it basically means creating across the curriculum as a main jump from educators across the curriculum and then educators professional learning opportunities, which is different than the category we had before, which was the throw everything in the bucket category that didn't fit in curriculum. And then we have the ICT one that's by itself, which I think makes sense since we're supposed to be the face of the VC and you don't want to have to click 5 times to get to it. So anyway, if you notice something that's missing that should be there, we have to just pick which category it belongs in and then put it there. So that's the progress we made on that. I think that's awesome because we needed to make that happen. And it's easier now for us to tell IT, like, these are the categories and we don't want 5 steps in between.
The only way to get to that page was right there.
Well,
for
right now, because
right?
the other thing they're supposed to do is make that educators thing clickable.
Right. It doesn't
at the
work
top.
now, right?
No.
Okay.
No. But now if it did work, there'd be a place to go because before it was just another set of tiles that brought you to another set of tiles that brought you to another set of tiles anyway. And for art, Sylvia, we went directly to each of the arts because I don't think there's a landing page anyway. If ever you need to make one.
There is a landing page.
Okay.
I remember seeing a landing page, but it was created for me.
It's only tiles that led to those other things though, so it didn't make sense to do it
Right.
that way.
I still think it's necessary to be a landing page. Like no one goes to like if you're a music teacher, you don't go to arts and then music.
Well, yeah, because if there were content that was different on that arts page, it would make sense, but
So far, not really. I mean, it might be like there could be bad.
well, it could always be, you could always add that eventually. All right. What else do we have to say?
I have
about
a
the
question
website?
about the website though.
Yeah,
Who takes care of these squares?
the ones on the main page.
Yeah, the bottom. Because like there's an event that passed and it's still there.
I think that the events that passed that are still there, it's because when the thing was set up, it wasn't set to expire. Because you can give it a date to go away, as far as I know.
Your question, Chris, is just kind of like one of the things I've noticed has been left unattended. So I've like periodically chipped away at it, but it's been like such a back burner issue. I've only seen you and I really go in there, and yeah, this is news to me about expiry. So
Yeah, you can set when you create the little content, the web content piece, you give it a date, and then it will.
Well, I've made a couple of them and they never appear. I imagine they have to be approved or something. They don't go.
I can work with you on that in case
Okay.
you know we're struggling with it. We can like
Okay.
make a testing environment, go through the process.
Okay.
So on that note, it's a good segue into the next item, which is, did I jump Twitter? Maybe we can we can.
Next.
Okay, can we put PD calendar first then? Because it makes sense. In the profession, yep.
What Chris is
Yeah.
Like if you click on the events button, those cards are not in events anymore. So
No.
you need to acquire from that section, but they're now in news. I just noticed.
Yeah. Well, I was finding that even if you click events, nothing was showing ever.
No. Well, if you
So
click
I
it,
think
it goes
there's something
blank,
wrong.
right? And then you click it, it comes back.
Yeah.
But it's everything.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not working well.
I don't understand it.
So one of the things we discussed to put in the professional learning opportunities section is to have an actual calendar with the PD sessions that we're offering across the curriculum, but not just OCS, but all the PED stuff that's going on. And that would have to be a Google Calendar. We have a Google Calendar now for PD. But we just, if we were to use that one and not make a copy, then we have to just be careful, because if it's public and there's like Zoom links and stuff in them, when people click on the event, they'll see them. So we kind of have to, if that's the calendar we're going to use, then it should just name the event and have a link to the registration form or whatever information needs to be there, but it shouldn't have the Zoom info and the room bookings and all of that stuck to it.
Right now, the way Zoom works is if you create a meeting, one of the options is that it populates your calendar, and that's how all that information ends up in there.
Yeah, but that calendar is called like a PD calendar, so
We have to be careful what
That's
gets
it.
sent to which
Well,
calendar.
just don't put
That's
the
it.
Zoom link in. That's all.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to police whatever the public calendar is.
yes.
We don't end up with the wrong stuff.
Yeah, because it's called Learn Professional Learning.
So maybe Danielle, do you want to be the calendars?
They'll get a badge.
Well, it got to about the police part that we're seeing more the missing part.
Yeah, it's like when we decide on an event, then it needs to be put in the calendar so that people can see what's happening, I guess.
Right, but just how that's communicated, how I
Yeah. Yeah, well, we just need to talk about it first, and then we can figure out a way to, like, one thing we can do is embed a Google Calendar in the website. And then people, if they wanted, I guess, could also subscribe to that calendar if it's a public calendar.
I don't know if it would be able to be allowed to do that.
Yeah, if we make it public. That's why we need to be careful, though, about what we put in it, because if we start to put our notes and Zoom links and all of that, then that's not a
Yeah, you just make
place.
available to public.
Yeah, it already is actually.
You get the shareable link.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
You can embed it though,
You can embed it.
so it could go on a website.
That's
Or a
what I
page.
just, yeah, we can put it in the page.
Yeah.
In the professional learning opportunities page, but we could also put it in other places. If we had to. So that means that there's FLS things or art things or OCS, like all of it could be there. So we'd have to come up with a little structure to make sure that all the events kind of have a, you know, say who the audience is, what the subject area or the top, like the content is, and then the title and the descriptor, I guess. And where it is or where to register. So does that make sense? I think,
My question would be, assuming the world opens again, with only internal events or is it external, like you're going to be somewhere?
if we're going to be somewhere, I think it also makes sense to put it there. I think a lot of people do that, whether they're, you know, we can say this event is for blah, blah, school board, or we're at this school, or kind of gives a sense of where we're at.
Maybe it could be a separate calendar though, instead of everything piled into that one.
Well, right now, I don't think we have to worry.
Yeah.
No,
Well, usually if we're doing OCS, it's, it's in that calendar where we are, what we're doing, what schools we're at. And then the professional learning is more for like teacher-based stuff, consultant-based.
Yeah, so to the point that Chris was making, that this would just be the TV calendar.
Yeah.
Well, for now, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not doing anything else anyway at this point, so. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing to say. Let's say we're at a particular school board. It's probably not a bad thing to say that we're doing that. It shows that there is some activity going, which right now we're not. The flip side is if there's 5 things going on in one day in different subject areas, you don't want it to all pile up and then look like nothing, I guess. But that's a good problem to have, which I don't think we have for now.
Right, well, all we need to decide is which calendar we use.
Okay, well, the one I propose is called
Learn professional learning calendar. That's what it's called.
yeah, we might come up with a better title than that.
I mean, I put an event so people, if you don't see something on the 24th of September, it means you're not signed up to that calendar, and we can add you in 2 seconds. But so if you don't see an event on the 24th, the Scratch Meetup, it means you're not subscribed to the professional learning calendar. Do you see it on yours?
Well, yeah,
The 20th,
yes,
24th?
yes.
Is it called Learn Online PD Calendar?
Yes.
It
No.
used to be, and now it's called Learn Professional Learning. We could change it.
Okay, I'm getting the old name. Maybe I need to
You
refresh it.
just need to refresh, I think.
I don't know if there's any way we could put something in the title that would remind us that that's public and be careful.
Do
We're gonna
you,
put live on stuff like this live, but even public, learn public calendar or something. I don't know.
Did everyone get the email to add that calendar yesterday? I got 2 emails saying.
because I added you, Caroline, because the other people were already there.
Well, we can change the name right now.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
you're there.
Learn professional, because I'm on Pit Services.
Learn professional learning calendar. It's a tongue twister. Yeah. Why don't we say public? Learn professional learning public.
Or published, or I don't know. What's the name of the site? Pedagogical Services.
okay, well, we don't have to decide now that the calendar can actually change.
So we can all write to that without being approved or anything.
Yes.
And just do people get notified? Is there a way somebody could get notified, like Danielle, like when we add to it? So
You have to go in and say you want to receive a notification.
I'm not sure how Learn works, but isn't it about like who set it up? Like the owner?
Well, you have to opt in to the notification.
because that would be good, because in case somebody accidentally puts something in there that's not
Like,
supposed to be.
I don't see Liz in this calendar.
I don't know if I have that level. I don't see.
You have the level of access that is the highest level.
I don't know how to get notifications.
Yeah, you have to go into the little 3 dots.
Yeah.
And then under the list of people, there's event notifications.
Thank you so much.
And then you set it so that you get the ones you want.
Yeah.
All right, Twitter.
I've set it for once a day notifications, but it has all the
We'll see.
Twitter, yes. So circle back to the conversation we were having last time with Chris about what happens if you tag Learn Ed in your tweet. And so what I understand now from looking into it is that let's say Chris tags Learn Ed, whoever we share as followers gets it. We get a notification in their red, like it's a higher algorithm hit, I guess. But it obviously doesn't show up on my red, let's call it. So that's a good way. Like, I'm not sure if I'm going to necessarily retweet all the content people are tagging from Learn Ed because I don't want to just be this like retweet bot of content. Like what I'm trying to do right now because it's a new account is just find original content to help people invest in the accounts so that they see it's not just redundant. So I think once we kind of get our followers and I can kind of build content and character for the account, then I can start the retweeting more. But right now I'm just holding off on that because there is so much I could retweet from you that would just make it boring. But I'm always looking for suggestions. I'm definitely thinking to try and find followers. I don't know. I think I have pretty much everyone who's on Twitter. I don't know if I missed somebody. If you haven't let me know you're on Twitter, let me know. But I think the conversations I've been having with Christine is just about, like, it's so easy to go down like the rabbit hole of maker culture. There's so much content on Twitter, but I do want to look into all of the subjects that are covered by the TED team. So I am going to start focusing on that, and maybe there'll just be different, some highlighting different sections of the services. So keep that in mind. Perhaps sessions for all actually work together. Is there anything else, Kristen?
I think that's it. I mean, if there are people that you think we should follow that you know in your particular communities, then that's something that Danielle can do, just so that we reach a little bit. I'm gonna try to. I know that we do want to follow like Ed Services at Lester B and the bigger boards. I'm not sure if the smaller boards have an Ed Services Twitter, but if they do, it's probably good. And one thing I was saying is we can, if there are things that are happening in the community in our school boards, that's something else I think that we can highlight in terms of projects or teachers that are doing things. So if we know of teachers that we've worked with and that we know that use Twitter, then that's someone else to follow too. And it's not necessarily self-evident to us.
I mean, my sense, now there's this poll online about like teachers living online as like a new thing, but that seems to be American. That's not really the exact thing except for like grades and 11 students. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, but there are teachers who are like in their classrooms and they tweet stuff that they're doing with their students though.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it's not necessarily teaching online.
So just to reemphasize, and this is something I need to kind of report with myself, is that the purpose of this account is to share resources with teachers. So that's just kind of what I want to keep in mind.
Yeah, it's like a curation tool for us.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Maybe just to, like, on that, Danielle, if you think there's things, so for example, like letters of love.
Yeah.
Like making up the idea, like, hey, there's still an opportunity to write letters of love to seniors or other people. That might be something that perhaps you can like coordinate with different people in different projects.
Yeah.
To kind of highlight a movie or highlight that. Because that's something I would like put on my own Twitter account, but I think it'd be great to have like Ed Services voice. Hey, check check out Learn Trees once you wrap this.
No, for sure, that's a great project. I was kind of waiting for your blog too. And honestly, I barely get any like this.
Well, I mean, it's got to grow, right? It's just it's a brand new account, so we've got to like.
But also, just follow. I mean, I'm like not really a good Twitter person, but like I definitely know when you follow people, they like follow you back. So like follow Tom Rhymes,
Yeah.
go follow us back, and then he'll
Right.
retweet
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah.
Because he's an active Twitter person.
Yeah.
Tom Rhymes and Les Peters is really.
And there's, Sambridge, like we can keep adding to those. Sambridge Jay-Z teaches he used to be from Lester B, but he teaches at McGill. In like teacher ed, so he's somebody to follow. There are people that we can sort of tap into.
Yeah, if you think of something off the top of your head, maybe you write it in the
Yeah.
chat. I'm not catching that.
That's all right. We'll send it, or we can send it to you by. All right. Do we want to try on Hangout now? Okay, so if you click on the link that's there, we can keep the Zoom meeting open just in case something happens over there. But if you click on Hangout, you should be going into.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Yeah, you just get feedback on the two microphones. Because Zoom is going to be listening at the same time that Hangout is listening.
Well, I don't need to put the feedback. Can you pause your volume? There we are. Can you all hear my music? Well, yeah, I think because I have. Okay. So you can see here who is in attendance. Sound not good. There we go. What's that hissing? Well, remember, this is just a test.